All right, guys. So this is a Sigala aftermarket high wing design that's designed after the Z07, Z06 style wing. And in this video, I'm going to do a review on the installation process and address some of the concerns that some people have on the strength of the spoiler and how does it handle in high speeds. So before I get into the details of the installation, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm very happy with the end results. I've driven this car in super high speed. It handles just fine. The wings are very stable, and if you install it correctly, it should be very stable and it should last you a lifetime. So follow my instruction on the video, and you can see some of the struggles that I'm dealing with and how do I address them. As long as you address them properly, you should have a really nice aftermarket design. This is a full carbon fiber wing, and you can see after the installation, this thing is super solid. Like, try to apply a lot of weight on it, and you can see it's not going anywhere. It's not like some of those video where you see the guys are, pulling them back and forward and they rock all over the place. I mean, I apply a lot of force here and it's not going anywhere. So definitely is a very sturdy wing. Now on high speed, you're gonna see this thing, it's kind of vibrates a little bit, and that's normal. You have a lot of downforce from here to here, and and wind velocity always change, so it's gonna do this. It's normal. Any wing would do that. So overall, I'm really happy with the end results. I did run into installation issues, and like everything else, it's not straightforward when you're trying to put a piece of aftermarket equipment into your vehicle. So just be mindful and just work your way through, and you get a really nice product installed at the end. So those are my 2 cents. Please see the video where I originally started the video and see where I ended up today. Thank you. So here's the carbon fiber 2-post wing. It came in such great quality, looking great. These are the 2 winglets that is going to be bolted on at the end. These 2 are the 2 pieces that's kind of covering the holes from the bumper. And as I expected, the low spoiler also mounted in 4 locations, and these holes gonna have to be covered. To remove the low spoiler, you have to heat them up, and there's adhesive in addition to the bolt. So just be really careful. I actually stripped a couple of points here and here because I heated it with a heat gun and it's got a little bit too hot, and then I tried to dry on it, put some pressure on it, and strip the paint. Gonna have to deal with that later. This might be covered by the 2-post. This I'm probably just gonna fill it with paint. Everything else looks okay. Yeah, so be very careful when you take the lower C51 spoiler off. So the 2-post wing came with this bracket, and they give you a template to drill a hole right into your body to mount. There's one hole here, one on the other side, and this fit like right into this cavity. So I haven't fully torqued it, but it's supposed to come up like this with the 2 bolts. I keep this in place. Now I've seen some people complain about the wing is not stable, and it deflects as you push it like forward and backwards. And so I think I found out what the problem is. So they gave you the kit came with only 2 bolts. So one here, one on the other side, but there's nothing to hold this bracket to the top. And this top is very stable. Like, there's no way you can move it. I try to do everything, and you cannot move this. So I know this is very stable. But they don't have you tie this bracket to this top piece, right? So as you bolt the whole assembly down, your 2 posts goes here and here on the bracket, and the bracket's doing this, and it's not secure to here. So you only have really 2 points of mounting points. So what I plan on doing is, you can see that I marked location where I'm gonna, when the wing is all done, I'm gonna come in, drill a hole through all the way to the bottom of this bracket. I'm gonna either rivet it or use a self tapping screw. This is carbon fiber, pretty thick. So I think I can do a self tapping screw, and you use quite a few of them, and it will secure in place. Now, if that doesn't work, and then I'm probably gonna rivet this in, but taking it out requires to drill the rivet. I really don't want to do that. So we'll see how it goes, but that's where I'm at. I'm just about to get this bracket mounted to the bumper, and then continue with the installation. Spoiler looks really good. So here's where I'm at. I got the bracket bolted to the spoiler, torque it up to, all I can do is 18 foot-pounds, and then the bolts is starting to, like the head where the Allen wrench goes into, is starting to strip a little bit, so I just leave it alone. So I did this one up to about, I think it was 18 foot-pound. Did the same thing here, 18 foot-pound, and I stopped there. Probably good enough. It's nice and solid. Blue Loctite it. So now these, you still can see deflection for sure, but these all need to be mounted. I'm pretty sure it's going to be solid, but man, that does look really good. All right, so I have a major problem with this bracket not fitting. It will not go into the car, and I think the reason is that you can see there's a height difference. As I bolt this thing down, it's kind of came down like that. Same thing on this side. And so I couldn't get this to fit. I don't know why, it's just like not coming in. And I keep like grinding away, and you can see this is a lot thinner than where it was. And I put tapes on it so I can see where the interference are, and you can see that it hit all the way up to here, so it's like almost next to where you're going to be bolting it. So if I start to trim this out, I'm basically getting not much left for support. Then on this side, it's not too bad, but you can see like this interference is here too. Not a good design. These guys need to work out the stack up tolerances and things, because the bracket they made is strong, but then you keep trimming it. I trim here too, so it's not as strong as you think it is. And so I'm thinking, I have a plan actually. I'm not going to trim any further to make it weak. The hung-ups is right here. You can see I try to jam it in, and that's it's like stripping all this stuff. I'm thinking of just like trimming this piece all the way into here and let that bracket come in, and then this is pretty thick. It's like, it comes all the way up to here. So And then I'm probably just going to epoxy the inside or something if I created a hole. Same thing on this side. You can see where the interferences are. Try that. I know I'm kind of ruined the car, but nobody's going to see it. Just try to make that work. That way the bracket can be strong. Yeah, I wish they give us a little more clearance to work with. All right, guys, my nightmare finally over. This is the kind of crap that I have to deal with. I ground down to make an incline, so the bracket can come in and kind of just walk up the hill and then go in there, and so I can push it in instead of it hitting the edge. And it takes a little bit of work, but I was able to push the bumper in, everything nice and tight. So took it back out, so I can this time I can go ahead and hook up all this electronics. So advice that you guys do not hook up the electronics on your first try. Just keep doing this until you get everything situated, and then hook up your electronics, because it's not fun to deal with this clips either. All right, so I'm gonna hook it up and slap it in, start bolting it together. Man, this whole thing took me, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours to deal with this. All right, the Corvette is finally done. Looking great. It's a lot of work, but guys, you know what? It's worth it. It's just the way I want it. Sound insanely cool. I just did a test drive around the neighborhood. Just came back. A couple of things I still need to do. Need to plug this up with that piece that the vendor gave me. Need to paint it to match with the body color. Same thing on that side. Easy problem to deal with. I can paint pretty well, so but you can see the car looks insanely cool. It does look like a Z06 from a distance. There you go. Hi, Ricky. This is a 325 millimeter tire, and it is flush pretty much to the fender. The Aero guys did a wonderful job on this. This is 120 out of 299 set that they're gonna make on this design. So it's a limited series. Looking just insanely cool. I'm gonna do a startup for you guys real quick. Since I drove it around, it's not gonna have a cold startup. Cold startup is very loud. It's like insanely loud. But this startup is gonna be loud too. But just for a split second. All right. There you go. Yeah, you can tell it's insanely loud. It sounds very throaty. When you give it some gas, man, it sounds really exotic. Down the street, it sounds almost like a Z06. It's just a little bit deeper tone. I know the iPhone video doesn't really do the justice. It sounds really good from outside. It sounds really nice in the cabin too. You can definitely can hear the exhaust. All right, guys, this is it. Conclusion of my video. I'm probably gonna do more mods at a later time. I'll keep you posted on that.